we are actually making it worse.
Because of it. There are literally over 10,000 results on the church website.
This is gonna be the best day ever. This is gonna be the best day ever. Wake up.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Ward Radio Morning Edition. I am your host, Cardinellis, and today I'm joined in the studio via Zoom by none other than Jonah Barnes, the Associate Professor of all things apocryphal, who is here to talk to us about a great comment that we just got on a recent video. The Brian Stutzman Supercut has brought us this amazing comment from the Dove's Nest. She says, I have to say, I never heard the Thomas B. Marsh bucket of cream story until I started listening to this podcast. Now I've heard it 5,000 times. And you want to know why you've heard it 5,000 times? The Dove's Nest? Because I'm actually going to look up and see how many times it shows up on the church website. But before we do, you're going to have to familiarize us, Jonah Barnes, with what the Thomas B. Marsh bucket of cream story is, so the future Dove's Nesters don't have to be confused like she was. And for those of you in the audience who don't know what the Thomas B. Marsh bucket of cream story is, or your visual learners, it's this one right here.
So, is that an original movie poster?
Yeah, so prevalent is my not disdain for this story, but yeah, it's this story right here about the bucket of milk streaming. So Jonah Barnes, really fast. While I'm looking up on the church website, I'm just going to literally do a Google search on the church website for Thomas B. Marsh and see how many hits come up. Like, why don't you just familiarize us with the Thomas B. Marsh bucket of cream story, my friend?
Sure. So what is ironic, before I go to that, what's ironic here, Cardin, is that we are actually making it worse. Because of a thing called the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon, or the frequency illusion.
Wait, the Bader-Meinhof?
Yes, this is a thing. This is the thing.
That is the worst name to be called Bader. He would have been reamed in high school.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's probably, that's why he went and became a psychologist.
Oh my gosh, that is so Freudian. It's not funny. All the parents are covering the ears of their children, and I'm not finishing that joke. This is family friendly. I'm not finishing that joke, but I think we all know what we're talking about. Go, Jonah Barnes.
So what this frequency illusion means that, like, when you're buying a house, you see realty signs everywhere.
Yeah.
When you hear about something, then you start noticing it everywhere. It's called the frequency illusion. So now that we've mentioned the Thomas B. Marsh stripping story, now you guys are just going to hear it everywhere. So we're actually probably making the story worse. But
okay.
How it goes is this. So once upon a time, back in Kirtland, there was this guy, Thomas B. Marsh, converts to the gospel. He and his wife, Elizabeth, and they're all hunky-dory. Everything is great. And he is a faithful guy. He believes in the Book of Mormon. He goes on missions. He's rises all the way up to the quorum of the 12 apostles. Okay.
Whoa, really?
Now this is right when the Missouri persecutions start, which was a bad time.
Yeah, for real.
It was a really, really, really bad time. And they're enduring this horrible persecution, and the Marsh family and Martin Harris's family, or is it Martin Harris's cousin's family or somebody? Okay. They decide they're going to have an agreement where they're going to buy a cow. They're going to share money to buy the cow. What are they going to do with the milk that comes out of the cow?
Strippings.
They're going to take the milk, and the top part of the milk is called the strippings.
Okay.
Or the cream.
All right.
And the cream is like the best part. And you use the cream to make really good cheese, right? And so
I don't know, but yeah, okay.
I can't believe we're telling this story right now. We're unironically telling this story right now.
Yeah.
But they would take the strippings from it and they would split it and share it. Well, what happened was Elizabeth Marsh, Thomas B. Marsh's wife, was milking the cow and then taking the cream and keeping it and then splitting it. I know, scandal. It's like a reality TV show. And then she's giving the rest of it, the half of it, to the Harris family. So the Harris family was like, oh no, you didn't.
Yeah.
You took the cream out of the milk. And so it became this super scandal there in, I think by this time they were in Nauvoo.
Okay.
Maybe, or in the Far West or something. Anyways, but that was kind of the straw that broke Thomas B. Marsh's faiths back. And a member of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, he said, that's it. And he said the famous quote is, I will sustain the character of my wife even if I have to go to heck for it.
Oh, well, at least he's loyal, right? You know?
So, yeah. But he did use HE double hockey stick, which, as a member of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, is a big no-no.
So this is, what does you'd repeated a phrase that you'd read off the website before, that it's a cautionary tale. What did the website say again? The church, on the church website, The Faith and Fall of Thomas Marsh, you can read about this. And it says, few stories from church history have been used as a cautionary tale as often as that of Thomas B. Marsh. That's the first line.
Okay.
Well, look, just to show you that I'm not crazy, I actually did an internet search, and lo and behold, check this out. I put in it's this simple. I put in just Thomas B. Marsh, all right, into the church's website, and look how many results came up. In just 2000 to current, we're not even talking in like the 1990s, 1970s, 1980s. There is, if I scroll down, more than 10 pages of articles, and we're talking 10 to 22 a page here. There are literally hundreds of church talks and articles about Thomas Baldwin Marsh, The Faith and Fall of Thomas Marsh, Thomas B. Marsh in Church of Jesus Christ Study Manual, like the milk stripping story. We can't escape it, right?
Yeah.
Now, what's another subject? What's another church history person we have to see gets, like, how many articles does Joseph Smith himself have? Like, I feel like I'm back at BYU again, where it's like every fifth Sunday was the Law of Chastity talk. And I got the Law of Chastity talk literally probably 7 or 8 times a year. Meanwhile, I never got one tithing talk in like my entire...
Cardin, you should be flattered. The priesthood leadership looked at you and they were like, we need to give that guy the chastity talk.
Yeah.
Because he's just got game. The dude pulls, we got to get him the chastity talk. You should be flattered that they gave that talk so many times, Cardin.
Yeah, dude. So I don't know. There was actually one point where literally when I was living at the Hollywood house, I just approached one of my church leaders when they asked like, oh, do you guys have any suggestions for the ward or this or that? And I literally said, I've lived in this ward for 2 years and I've never heard a talk from the pulpit on tithing. Like, might we consider talking about other spiritual principles?
Maybe.
Than like, let's just, there's other spiritual principles out there,
You should feel better about this. When Bill Reel was a teenage boy, they never had to give him the chastity talk. They're like, he doesn't have to worry about that. They just moved right on.
Savage, man. You're brutal, bro. You're brutal. Oh, dude.
Bill, good Billy.
Speaking of which, man, we've got a cup of cardin coming up about him, man, and some games they be playing over there that are some
not cool.
Yeah, wolves in sheep clothing things. So anyway,
but the verdict about the Thomas B. Marsh thing, guys, like, look, the whole point is, when you're in the quorum of the 12 apostles, people, having somebody in the church, like, steal some milk from you should not be a shelf-breaking event.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole point. There you go. Now you know the story.
Or there's just better coping mechanisms, like leaving the quorum of the 12 apostles. Like, there's not better. But, I got to tell you, they need to pick a better story, because to a certain extent, I'm kind of looking at Thomas B. Marsh and being like, he's a nice guy that was loyal to his life and got pissed off that somebody was stealing from him. I think maybe we could have taken your brother to try and make amends with your other brother. And then if that one doesn't work, take 2 brothers to try and make amends. And if that doesn't work, take the church. Like, I think we kind of jumped the shark and went straight to 11 overnight. But anyway, I'm just responding here to our beloved member of the Ward Radio Wigwam here, none other than the Dove's Nest, and her commentary that I just have to say that I've never heard the Thomas B. Marsh bucket of cream story until I started this podcast. Now I've heard it 5,000 times, and I'm pretty sure there's about 5,000 articles written on the church website about it. So I don't know about you, but I think we can officially excommunicate Thomas B. Marsh from just the church history books, at least. All right. You know what I'm saying? So Dove's Nest, we're glad we could educate you. And we're glad we could be part of your religious education. And don't you dare forget the milk strippings. Don't you dare forget the milk strippings.
You know, I'm gonna check on YouTube, Cardin. I wonder if they actually have made this into a.
Yeah, Scripture Central did.
Did they really?
Oh, dude, I'm not kidding you. Yeah, I was going to end it right there, but now we do have to go to Scripture Central. If you do an image search, the number one thing that comes up, look at this. I'll show the audience right here. Yeah, dude, it's right here. It's literally.
This is so sad. It talks about like his conversion.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you knew, man. You knew. And then your wife was being a little whiner and...
Dude, I'm telling you.
Sorry, man. But that's one of those times when you need to tell your wife and be like, I love you dearly, but you got to grow up right now. Like you just you just got to grow up right now.
All of the feminists just booted up their laptops.
Booted
up their laptops and they're like,
my wife can say it to me too. My wife can say it to me too. Say, you know what? That's great. Good point there. I know I love you and everything, but you got to grow up right now. Like,
yeah.
That's
P.S. I'm loving the actor that represents Thomas B. Marsh.
Mm-hmm.
You know, boom, shakalaka. That guy is kind of like, who's the guy that was in Entourage? Jeremy Piven, who ended up getting Me Too'd. And he said he got Me Too'd because of the characters that he played were always misogynist. And he felt like it was so easy to lambast him as a bad person with the ladies, because he always played misogynist characters on HBO. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I wonder what this actor feels like now in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, always having represented Thomas B. Marsh, the dreaded Thomas B. Marsh, the epitome of apostasy. That's sad. What are his bishops?
Sad.
What are his bishops' interviews like? Right. So anyway, yeah, guys, Dove Nest, glad we could just give some additional insight to Thomas B. Marsh. Thank you, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, for archiving the now hundreds and hundreds of articles that have been written on this man, all after 2000. Who knows how many? If I click on search the archive for pre-2000 content, there are literally over 10,000 results.
Oh my gosh.
There are literally over 10,000 results on the church website. Look at this. There are over 10,000 plus results on the church website for Thomas B. Marsh and his stupid bucket of cream. There have been more articles written about Thomas B. Marsh and his fall from grace over that silly bucket of milk cream than there have been days since it happened. That is how bad. Like, I got to tell you, I don't know who Thomas B. Marsh hurt in the church office building.
Someone bad.
But at this point, I think the family doing its genealogy has been punished enough. Like, maybe we can just put this to bed and start choosing somebody else. I don't know. Maybe like
it's like William Shakespeare. Since William Shakespeare's birth in like what, 400 years ago?
Yeah.
There have been more PhD dissertations written about William Shakespeare than there have been days since his birth 400 years ago.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I think we've covered it, guys.
I think we've covered it. All right.
Let's move on. I think we got it.
So speaking of moving on, thank you everybody for hanging out with us. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, please make sure you check out our Discord channel. If you haven't joined the Discord yet, there's a link to it on our website, and let this be the day that you download the Discord app and start hanging out with other faithful brothers and sisters who just want to talk shop, anything and everything tangential to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We defend truth. We delight in truth. What do we say again?
We delight in truth. We denounce
deception, and we have fun. So go out, delight in truth, denounce deception, and have fun. And as always, for this and more, please check us out at wardradio.com.
This is gonna be the best day ever. This is gonna be the best day ever. Wake up, top of the morning. The bacon is crispy, the coffee is pouring. My meditation is peeling an orange. The bank says I'm already scoring. I got a parking spot right outside. Step into my brand new ride. All we ever get is green lights and blue skies. This is gonna be the best.